I the a-hole for not wanting to forgive my parents who used to be amazing, because of one mistake they made in the past? Growing up, my parents used to be these amazing parents who were very attentive and caring to me and my siblings, except with an exception, that the two of them would always have their phones on Do Not Disturb from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. They told us it's because they value their free time and sleep and don't want to be disturbed during the night, which was okay, at first, until I was stuck in a situation where I really needed their help. Around 3 years ago when I was 18, I got this job as a server where I would work until 1 a.m., and I was expected to drive myself home. However, one day I got into a car accident after work and got pretty badly injured, to the point that I'll never fully recover to this day, as I now have life-lasting injuries and is considered as disabled. I was hoping that, just this once, my parents would answer me, because I was scared and wanted someone close to me to be there for me. But as expected, it automatically went into voicemail and they never picked up. That night I also called other family members to ask them to contact my family, or to come with me. The only ones who was willing to come by to see me immediately was my grandparents, and they also tried to call my parents as well, but as expected, they couldn't reach them either. So, it wasn't until around the next day at 7 a.m. where my parents finally heard what happened to me, but by then, I already felt like it was too late because they wouldn't respond after so long. I was always out of surgery and awake by the time my parents finally came to the hospital, so I never felt like I really got their support, because I already did with my grandparents who was there for me from the start. Ever since then, I couldn't think about my parents as amazing anymore, and I couldn't forgive them for making me feel abandoned, even if I knew that they would never pick up their phone in the middle of the night, because they told me so beforehand. Ever since then, I was distant, and refused to let them do anything with me, like taking me to physical therapy, or my doctor's appointment, and I only wanted my grandparents' help. Within the last month, after recovering enough to finally be able to go find another job that accommodated my disabilities, and making enough money, I finally moved out of my parents' house and went NC with them. My parents and grandparents seem to have an issue with that, because they are telling me that I'm being too harsh, especially since my parents profusely apologized, and promised to keep their phones available at all times. I know they have kept their promise to this day, since I know from my siblings that they can call them in the middle of the night, and my parents would now answer the phone, even if it's past 10 p.m. However, that one event is something I feel like I can never forgive them for. While I feel bad for making my grandparents sad for not wanting to forgive my parents, I can't bring myself to do so after they made me feel so abandoned. What do you think? Am I the a-hole? Follow for part 2.